Yeah, we'll talk about what's going on in Dayton, just other things. I could kind of briefly today, the officer was granted bond here in Atlanta. The young man that was killed, accused of killing Mr. Brooks. I could briefly talk about that. So I guess we're live now, right? Knowledge.
Yes, we are live. Y'all see who I got in the house. Do not adjust your screen. Do not adjust your listening device. We definitely get the definition of not out, but we bring you on right now. And we get to glean from the greatest minds of our time right now. Gerald Emerson Rose, John Drummond of the Not I, but We, illustrious organization, New Order, National Human Rights Organization. I'm put the I out there. I'm gonna say New Order International Human Rights Organization. I do see that here, shortly in the next year. This will welcome for our weekly session. President, founder, CEO Gerald Rose, staff John Drummond. Show how y'all feel.
What's going on, brother Knowledge?
Glad.
Everything is good, bro. First of all, thank you for giving us this platform to come on to your show every week to give the updates on what we've been doing across this country. As you know, I just got back from Dayton, Ohio, where a interior designer named Mr. Lamore, I consider was racially profiled at a Joanne Fabrics in Dayton, Ohio. I want to thank my Chief of Staff, John Drummond, who's here with me, for having my back when I was up in Dayton, Ohio. And it's unfortunately when you have the white media, all of the white media came out from every news station in Dayton, Ohio, and it seemed that they refused to put it on air. But you know what? We got our own raw video. We up to like 10,000, 11,000 views on a press conference that we had up in Dayton, Ohio, and justice must be served. I did get a response from Mr. Drummond earlier that Joanne Fabrics did. I guess he called up there and he think that they're playing games, but we're just going to stay on top of this. We didn't just go up there to get seen. We went to Ohio to get some resolutions and some results. So we continue to stay on top of the situation. This young man has been patronizing Joanne Fabrics for over 30 years. I mean, he brought a portfolio on different stuff. He patronized and signed his business, but for some reason, that particular day when he went in there, he was mistreated. He felt like that, it was wrong what happened to him, and fortunately, he got abandoned for Joanne Fabrics. So we're going to continue to fight justice for Mr. Lamore.
Definitely. And let me bring the listening viewers up on speed as far as what occurred to Mr. Lamore. What happened was Mr. Lamore, like Jill said, has been going into this fabric store for around 30 years now. He is a international designer. He also works for the largest dance company in the city of Dayton, Ohio, which is Dayton Contemporary Dance Company. He purchases things for them as well for his personal self. He said between the time January and April, he had spent upwards of $5,000 in the store. At the time, there was a situation that happened when he was at the counter. To cut it short, basically, he was a dissatisfied customer, and he felt that there was some racial disparities between the people being treated around him, which were white, and the store deals with predominantly white people. Very few blacks go in that area. He goes in that area because the fabrics that he needs for his business, it's the only store that has those. And he left the store, but he came back a couple of days later to express his discontent, as a customer is supposed to do when they're dissatisfied. The cashier and him had words. He said he never raised his voice above his speaking voice. And before he knew it, the authorities were called on him. I believe what we're dealing with is a culture, and I believe we have to end this culture. If you think of the situation that's going on nationally with George Floyd and his death, and the gentleman calling the police on what was assumed to be, a fake bill. Last time I checked, that didn't carry a death sentence. Rest in peace to him. If you're aware of the Central Park situation with Amy Cooper, the white lady who called the police on the gentleman, saying that her dog and her felt threatened by this black man when he was 20 feet and stayed that distance away from her. When you think of these things, this is all part of a culture. Even black people have bought into it. A few of us have, because we walk into stores a lot of times, and we have this paranoia about ourselves. We have this over cautious feeling that somebody's watching us, or something is bad going to happen. And Mr. Lamore is a victim of the situation, and we have to put an end to this stuff. Joanne Fabrics did not reach out to Mr. Lamore. Mr. Lamore had to reach out to them. He's feeling a little disappointed right now. He feels like, because the 3 local media spots didn't do what he thought they would do, that we weren't, or the act wasn't effective. However, like we told him, his video has gotten 12,000 video views on social media. And social media in these days and times, in this generation, is how people see information, is how they get the news. So he had far more, because we are national and we got a lot of national attention. Even the Nation of Islam shared his video. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep up with this fight. Joanne has to be accounted for, and they have to address and speak to this injustice, this Miss Lamore, and we're going to be there throughout the fight.
Or just the fact we will not be ignored. We have to continue to fight. Things don't happen overnight, but we need to let them know that we're not going nowhere, because we did send 2 letters, our concern, and because according to when we went inside the store, the local manager, she wouldn't have no problem he coming back to this particular store to start patronizing again. But unfortunately, we got to go through headquarters now. They got to authorize for him allowed to go back, inside Joanne Fabrics. But we're just going to keep pushing. We're not going to give up. I know he's a little frustrated because he felt that he was dead. That he was felt that they did him very wrong, which I understand, because you've been going there for 30 years. All of a sudden, so many people calling the police on, especially black males coming from a white race. It's getting frustrating. So I understand, his frustration, but we're going to continue to support Mother Lamore. We're not going nowhere. Like John said, there's up to about like 11,000 views, and it's still growing because we continue to share this video. I'm not hearing John.
He's obviously, without question, very concerned, but he's also fearful. Like Gerald said, even though the manager agreed that he can return, it has to be, something that's said from the higher ups, from corporate. But it isn't about that. He wants a surety, that once he goes in there, the situation won't happen again. Like I said, it's a culture that has to end. Stop telling us that every cop isn't bad, and when the police show up, nothing bad is going to happen. That's not our experience as black men. Our experience is when the police show up, oh Lord, and there's fear, justified fear in that. You want to stop telling us every cop is not bad. Stop telling people that every black man isn't a threat, because every black man isn't a threat. I mean, start telling people that every black man isn't a threat. You tell me you see a black man. Mr. Lamore was 6'4", is 6'4". He's a Muslim, and he dresses in Muslim attire. So a lot of people are intimidated by that. I'm over 300 pounds. I'm a very menacing looking individual when I walk into places. I'm a gentle giant, though. So is Mr. Lamore. So tell everybody that every black man is not a threat, and maybe we'll stop telling people that every cop has something you need to worry about.
So that's basically what's going on, Knowledge, in Dayton, Ohio. We got some unfinished business to take care of. Also, I want to kind of redirect right quick, if you don't mind. The officer who killed Mr. Brooks here in Atlanta was granted bond today, which I knew that was going to happen. And of course, a lot of people are upset that the officer was getting out on bond. But there's also a lot of Atlanta police officers, since this happened, they felt that the mayor made a quick decision and that the officer has been treated bad, here because of what happened, because of Mr. Brooks took a taser gun from the other officer, and he did run and try to turn around and tase the guy back, but they felt that the officer was in the right or whatever. And then a lot of police officers here in Atlanta has been calling in sick. Now they saying blue lives matter, but you got to get understanding, man. When it comes to us, we always the victims, bro. People are frustrated, and things like that. So we're going to continue to follow this case very closely. There's a lot of local activists here in Atlanta has been out in the streets addressing the issue and things like that. So we've been watching from far away. I do support rallies and protests, but there has to be a backup agenda as far as the word called voting. If we can just take these angers to the polls, because we got to have these young people who's the next generation who's doing a wonderful job, making sure that all these people are registered to vote. But I heard something on the radio this morning saying that Georgia, there's so many registered people to vote here in the state of Georgia since Obama ran for president. So people are getting registered. So it's just change is coming, man. There's a mass movement going across this country. As you can see, all these state Confederate flags are being torn down. We talking about the state of Mississippi, here in Georgia, deep in the South. So, people are afraid of change. And as you can see, man, our people are rising up, bro, and things like that. Thank God to Donald Trump, because of his racist tactics. Our people are waking up, man, and let's just continue to move forward, and continue to figure out what we all need to do. Economic wise, we got to start supporting our own, start shutting some businesses down. If we could just unite, but unfortunately, there's a lot of black owned business, but unfortunately that, we have to sacrifice, and promote these business. If it's going that extra mile, going the extra corner, to these stores or whatever, but we're not doing that, man. But, eventually I think we're going to get that way. We got a long way to go, but I got confidence that eventually that it is going to happen, because our young people are on fire right now. They're really on fire. And I can say that.
And the statues being knocked down.
Right.
Policy is being changed. I just read the other day that the state of Georgia now has a hate crime. For years, they didn't have a hate crime. I believe that's based on Mr. Auburn Armory situation and the things that are going on across this nation. And yes, you're right. The officer just got a bond. Where have you ever heard that, with a African American officer who was expected or charged with the same crime? If you can show me, what I'm saying, I won't disagree with you, but I would say that it's rare, and I think I'd be right. And once again, we come right back to culture. The way we have lived our lives in America today, and how white privilege is prevalent, and how situations happen with the black man when police is called. In this same situation, Rayshard Brooks may have still lived today had not the police have been called on him. In fact, it's a fact that he wouldn't be dead. if they would have just, alarmed him, let him know of his situation. Hey, man, you don't need to be here. You need to get going. End of story. So we have to change that culture. The same way, like I said, the Amy Cooper law in New York has brought about change. A lot of people might think twice when they want to call 911 on a black man or anyone for that nature that is innocent and being accused of something falsely that they did not do. Now that law is coming into fruition in New York, maybe it could hit across the nation. We need to take a look at that. I think that is something that this nation definitely needs. But you are correct, Gerald. We are seeing change. Hopefully, it'll be expeditious enough so that there's not another uproar. Because I don't think this nation can take another uproar. Because once you've rioted and looted and protest enough, tiredness sits in, and then your mind thinks to other things. So let's pray that they change and make policy. And like you said, people need to vote. I see so many differences of opinion as to why shouldn't one vote or not. And I'm not going to sit here and be political because I'm not a political person. But I can say this. I can say I know there are judges who would be in our favor if we were to vote those particular judges in. I know there are people in government who, if we voted for them, would sway, the way we are looked at, in certain situations, municipally and nationally. So please, if you have sensibilities in who you want to be in leadership, make that change, help with the change. We talk about moving forward. We talk about what are we going to do next? What's next? Well, let's do some baby steps. Let the first step be, let's vote these people out of office that are causing us so much hardship.
Elections. So we must stay woke as far as voting, and things like that. So, like I said, there's a mass movement going on, man. I'm excited, man. The young generation are stepping up, getting involved. Matter of fact, even the NBA, John, I don't even know. I think they're going to be going back to playing basketball. They even allowing them on the court painted Black Lives Matter on the back of their uniforms. I mean, so the professional sports are starting to wake up as well. The commissioner of NFL, Mr. Goodell, talking about now, he don't see why there's no problem if any team, if every NFL team can kneel this year. And we all knew that Kaepernick wasn't disrespecting the flag. He was just talking about the ongoing police shootings against African Americans, the police brutality. They knew what was going on back then. He wasn't talking about disrespecting the flag. But once 45 hijacked the platform, talking about he was disrespecting the flag, everybody started turning that way. But now they realize after this George Floyd situation happened in Minnesota, they finally woke up, and things like that. So, like I said, change is coming, man. That's why this past weekend, I even went to visit my grandson in Alabama. And even though he's 5 years old, I'm teaching him right now what's going on. We did a live video together. The one thing about our young generation, they're very smart because, first thing you say, Papa, once we leave the house, we got to put on this mask. I said, well, how you know about a mask at 5 years old? He said, I watch it on TV on Corona-19. And I'm like, you know what? So that means he's paying attention. So it's my job is to continue explaining to him what's going on and what is he facing as a young Black man. Even though he's 5 years old, we got to start teaching him young. So I'm taking that very serious. So next week, I'm excited. He's going to spend the whole week with me here in Georgia. So don't think he's just going to be playing video games. I know he's a kid first. I do understand that. But by all means, I'm starting to put stuff in his head right now, letting him know what's going on. And that's the honest truth. We got to.
John Lewis, Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Abernathy, Jesse Jackson, all these men were young men when they started the civil rights movement. And I see these young people today, and I'm so proud. And like Dave Chappelle, I feel confident to lay back and let them move the movement forward, because these are educated young people. They live in the age of information. Not before any generation have they had so much knowledge on current events and things that are going on in their life. So I think they have a good understanding of what's needed to move this country forward. And their idealisms, they may be slightly different than ours, but they all want the same thing we fought for all the time that we've been in human rights, and that's justice and fair share and equality. And I believe they can do it. I saw your little grandson, man. You know what I'm saying? He made me smile because I knew his granddad, you know what I'm saying, is a proud man. And I know that you are definitely going to show him the way. And like I said, this generation that's coming up, man, like I said, just amazed at their fight and their ability to see, the truth rather than all this noise and all this false media that is there for them, but they differentiate. They read, they look up, they research. So yeah, very confident that they got the ball, definitely.
He's a kid first, but you can tell, man, how he's being. I want to give a shout out to his mom, Jerica Rose. She has done a wonderful job, because when I took him shopping for clothes only, of course, we went down a section for toys. And I said, well, no, we're not going to get toys right now. He didn't pitch no fit. He didn't pout. He just accepted the responsibility that I'm not getting a toy today. So that showed me, man, if I continue to talk to him, and like I said, I was thinking he was going to pout and all that, 'cause I know when I was 5 years old, if I wanted a toy, I didn't get it, you a little spoiled or whatever, but he kind of accepted it. So that gave me a red flag. Like, he's really, if I continue to brainwash him on what's going on and start talking about the issues that's going on, especially being a young kid, and of course a black male, because, suspects are younger and younger. Young people are like the young man. How was the guy that got shot in Cleveland, Ohio? The young man was playing with a water gun. I forgot his name, but he was young, like what, 9 or 10 years old, John? You remember what I'm talking about?
Speaking of Tamir Rice, that was actually Cleveland, Ohio. He was 12 years old.
That's 7 years from 5 and make it 12. So it's very important, man, that we grab our young people, man, let them know, because that could have been him playing with a water gun at 12 years old, and look what happened. So this is madness out there when it comes to us. And then that's why you've seen a lot of people, I don't believe in a violent protest, but I guarantee you, if all the rallies was just peaceful and no looting or rioting going on, I don't think them officers would have got arrested. The state of Minnesota, they stood up. They stood up, and unfortunately, the police department was burnt down, but it wasn't nobody looked like us. So, because you got informants, man, that go to these rally and protests, they do stuff just to disturb, to distract. Like here in Atlanta, there was a white female being questioned about the Wendy's that was burnt down when Mr. Brooks was murdered here in Atlanta. She's out on bond as well, but as you can see, there's a pattern. But it's for some reason, I can't say that other races are joining with us as well. When it comes to racism that's going on, people are just fed up, man. They're fed up and they're tired. So I understand on the frustration and stuff that's going on, so I do understand.
That's why we do what we do. That's why organization for over 20 years, you being CEO for that amount of time, you founding this organization, you feeling a need for the fight for justice. That's why we do what we do. Because you are right, Joe. We don't want to see another protest, more rioting, more of the looting, and all this is out of anger. All this is out of a response to something that the nation said, well, you know what? And like you said, that seems to be the difference as well. It wasn't just black people out there. They were angry people of every color. And that's why we are a human rights organization, because we fight for the rights of people of every color. I want to throw this in right now just to let the listening viewing audience know that wherever you may be nationally, if you feel that your rights have been violated, don't hesitate to call our organization, because we will fight for you tooth and nail. Down the line, we have a wonderful legal team of very powerful, high profile attorneys. We have a research team that will research your case, everything that we need to know in order to help you. We will do that for you. If you want more information on who we are and what we do, please visit our website. That's www.nonhro.org. You can also give us a call. We have a 1-800-business line. That's 1-800-346-5138. We're on social media. A lot of times our cases come to us through social media. And once that happens, we'll go through the process to make sure we are attentive and get results for any injustices that you may face. Oh, and very quickly, I want to congratulate Brother Knowledge, our host, on being an ambassador for the Black Speakers Network 2020 Global Speaker Summit, October 9th through the 11th. Congratulations, Brother Knowledge. We are so proud of you. We are all family here, and anything that we see our family doing and excelling in, we keep a very watchful eye, and so proud of the things that you are doing. And like I said, the nation needs your type of media, and the coverage that you do and the interviews that you hold are very necessary and necessary for us as a people. So appreciate you, and just wanted to let you know that we're proud of the things you're doing, brother.
Thank you. I'm multitasking over here. We got an echo issue, so I got to kind of flip back and forth in between both of y'all while y'all speaking. I just wanted to say real quick, Tamir Rice would have been 18 a couple of days ago. I have an 18-year-old daughter. He would have been class of 2020 graduating. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's not just death that comes along with what happens. There's trauma thereafter. His mother spoke about having post-traumatic stress in all the members of his family. His older sister was in it. She let him go play outside. And somebody came to her and said, somebody shot your brother. So she went outside to check on her brother, only to be tackled to the ground and handcuffed and put in the back of a police car and watch her brother die. So look at the psychological effects that come along with it. It's not just loss. You understand? It's not just injustice. There's psychological ramifications that carry you through the rest of your life. So I'm thankful for an organization like New Order. I say it's not I, but we Dream Team, because that's exactly what it is. When the O.J. Simpson trial happened, that's what they called Johnny Cochran's legal team, the Dream Team. You understand what I'm saying? So we need someone to be able to advocate for us around the world, because this, as I said, this becomes a global situation. It was a global response to a situation of injustice that happened in America as time immemorial. So some of the leaders you named, Dr. King, they had global implications. Malcolm X had a global implication. You understand what I'm saying? So I see New Order as being a staple that is righteous enough to carry this banner around the globe, to speak to injustices around the globe, to help people get a remedy for their affliction, because they're afflicted with pain and trauma. So I could see New Order working in that space. So that's why I definitely lend my partnership to, Brother Gerald and you, Brother John, and, the rest of the Dreams team, because y'all got some serious warriors that are committed to change, that are committed to results. So definitely wanted to add that in real quick. I know y'all think I've been quiet. I'm just asking over here, trying to make sure that the conversation flow like it's supposed to.
No, brother, I know you tweaking.
Right. Within the last couple of weeks, we have gained about 3 or 4 members that's coming on board. I already let them know that don't be a part of the moment, but be a part of the movement. This is not a temporary movement. This is a full-time job. And some people that came in, the first thing I'm seeing, like the young lady in Indianapolis, Alabama, is out getting people registered to vote. She's involved. She's fitting right in. Of course, the people in Toledo, my hometown, finally got some people that are very serious out in the streets marching and protesting. We got then we got people in Michigan, just all Louisiana. Like John said, the legal research team, and if it wasn't for Miss Georgia Ward, we wouldn't have been in Dayton, Ohio. So I have to give a shout out to her. Anytime we need some legal research or whatever, they'll jump right on it, because we all on the same level. They're passionate just like me. My dad always told me, said, son, if you get some people that have the same passion as you, it's going to be a lot easier. And I have seen that New Order ain't always been like this now, because John and Shauna, the vice president, they've been around for a long time. There's been some ups and downs, but I could tell you right now, you said dream team, I think back like, wow, these people are really doing something. And then when you got everybody's attention, and not even the ones that works remotely, because this is volunteer. So we're doing something right. I know it starts from the top. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes. But at the same time, these people are on fire, man. And then a young advocate, Samuel, Campaign Sam, he wrote a thing today. I don't know if you've seen it, Knowledge. He wrote something up today. Every couple of weeks, he writes something about what's going on. He's only 21. And this young man is doing this thing. So we got some talented people. We talked during the week off air where you wanted to bring him in, I guess, with another young lady to be on your show. Of course, the young people to talk about what's going on. So I did talk to him. He said that is no problem. So you just let me know when you want to set that up. He said that is no problem. So it's just like matter of fact, like it ain't always, when I say not I, but we, as you know, it's always somebody different doing this weekly live podcast, because we got some talent and you're a witness of it, Knowledge, and you see it. Because I don't have to always, I'm used to doing this. You know what I mean? I don't have to always be doing this. That's why it's enough work to spread the wealth. Everybody in this organization, from the board of directors to the staff members to the key staff member whole position, are very important in this organization. I treat everybody important, and they know that. Communication, I'm always in communication. Sometimes I think I'm texting too much, but they can never say that they don't know what's going on. And Red Fidel, of course, he's been on here several times. He's going to be he's doing a video on July 18th, and he is focusing on the issue that's going on in the community. So he want all the New Order family to have on their New Order gear and be in the video, and I got some people say they're coming from Alabama and Augusta just to be I wish my people, John and all them, but I do understand, but there's some people that's come from Alabama and other states to come down just to be a part of the video, because if Red Fidel got my back, I gotta have his back. You know what I mean? Because people do other things as organization. So this is not selfish, so I got about like 12 people committed to be in this video that he wanted to put together, and we just gonna have on our New Order stuff. He gonna do his thing as an artist, but it's more of a conscious video, and I can't wait. That's gonna be nice, bro. I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be very nice. And hopefully, I wish you was in town, Knowledge, to be a part of it, because I'm quite sure if you was in town or whatever, he'll want you in the video as well.
Yes, we have such a wonderful organization, crew of talent. It's truly amazing. There was a time that, of course, like Gerald said, we've had our ups and downs as an organization. There were times I wish the team we have now could have been back then, but you know what? Wasn't time for it. Like Gerald said, there's such thing as a moment, and there's such things as a movement. This group of people we have right now is definitely part of a movement. They're all passionate. I don't see any quote unquote what we call rocks in the organization. Daily, people put their work in. And like I said, we don't get a cent. So I certainly appreciate, especially the new people that come in and show their passion and show what they're about as far as wanting to serve their community. Knowledge, you had me thinking when you were speaking of Tamir Rice, and you talked about, your daughter who is now 18 and Tamir would have been 18. A lot of times, and these are tragedies that we're speaking of. So definitely, all heartfelt for these people and their families who have lost lives. But through adversity, oftentimes comes change. And sometimes that change is not so good, like you mentioned. And other times things come out of that become, a story that is inspiring. Trayvon Martin's mother, she's running for office. Tamir Rice's mother is very active. His aunt, Latanya Goldsby, she's a friend of New Order. She's a strong activist. And oddly enough, ironically, I was watching a documentary earlier today, and Angela Davis, during her trial, she was being interviewed by some Swedish people, and she told a story of how when she was a little girl, she lived in Alabama, right down the street from the church of the bombing where the 4 girls died. And those girls, all those little girls were her friends. And she said that bombing traumatized the neighborhood. She said their fathers, because the interviewer asked her about violence and the Black Panther Party and violence being a part of their, agenda. And she says, violence? She said, well, the church got bombed. 4 little girls died. After that, fathers in our community, they all walked around late at night, every night, with guns, fearing and wanting to protect their family and their young ones. And I thought of all this. And Angela Davis was a little girl when this happened. We're talking about the iconic Black Panther, Angela Davis. That changed and transfixed and made her life and the way she see things presented in a way that out of tragedy comes adversity, and out of adversity comes that change. My brother died tragically, which is why I came to New Order. A lot of times people are very reactive in these situations. We talk to people with hopes that they can be proactive and want to join an organization before tragedy strikes, before things like this happen. Because a lot of people in organizations like New Order, they come to the situation after the fact. So hopefully this nation is going through a change right now. I can see it. I know you gentlemen can see it. And hopefully New Order and knowledge with your program and what you're doing in the community. I know you do a lot for the community. A lot of people don't know it, but Brother Knowledge does a lot for young people and college students. So our organization has a youth and outreach department. And like Gerald said, Brother Samuel's doing awesome work. Our Vice President, Shauna Swearington, not to single anybody out, because like Gerald said, we have a powerful team, like you call us, the dream team. But yes, if you're passionate and you want change in the world, then maybe one thing you could consider is joining an organization like New Order, National Human Rights Organization. And Joe, if you want, you can shoot them out the information for them who want to join.
Dream Team, you got me going to play that old song, The Dream Team. I don't remember the group or whatever, but you got me going to YouTube playing that. And I just sit back and like, wow, God is good, man. My dream came true, and again, like John said, we got a wonderful team like Noki, man. He's originally from Chicago. He wrote up a nice report about the violence that was going on in Chicago on Father's Day, all the shootings. I just put out a task. I don't have time, they might can't do it right away, but I'm never rejected because we all on the same accord. God done brought a wonderful team that we all concerned what's going on. Of course, John, he's in the music. He's a producer, and things like that. So we just got some talent, man. I just thank God, man, that we can continue to wake up every day and can't save the world, man, but we concerned about our young people, and things like that. So we're going to keep moving, and when it's my time to leave this earth, at least we all can say that we tried to help somebody. Like our former member said, Mark Bell, don't just be no dead rock just laying around. Everybody was put on earth to do something. And that's why God has brought a wonderful team together as far as New Order, because we're serious about this. We're not going nowhere, period. I know if I'm the last one standing or whatever, it's in me because I done seen what my dad went through, the death threat calls, the church put on fire. So I understand, man, how it can get serious. And if we start hitting them on the economic wise, it can get serious. And that's the way I want to go because we got to start redirecting our money. That's why every time I travel, I always patronize a Black-owned business. Someone looked just like me. And then when we was just in Dayton, Ohio, Sherry Nevins, who's an entrepreneur, got a wonderful business going on in Dayton, Ohio. So we immediately went up there, me and John, and interviewed her, explained what she got going on in the community. So we need to know our resources nationally, and things like that. So that's what we do. We patronize our own. If everybody can do that, man, you talking about we're a threat now. Can you imagine that we come together economic wise and just supporting our own or whatever? Because we got the money to do that. But for some reason, it's like people want to held back, and things like that. So I had an opportunity to do a exclusive interview for the Rise magazine, which is published by the Nation of Islam. They did an exclusive interview on New Order. It's going to come out in August. I'm like, wow, I'm actually doing an exclusive interview with the Nation of Islam, even though they've been having New Order back for a while. But I'm like, this is where we at now. I'm like, wow. I just don't have a bow tie on, but I support the Nation of Islam. Like Minister Farrakhan said, we Black people first. We got to put this religious down, and I'm looking forward to hearing him speak on July 4th. I think he's going to be speaking or whatever, and I'm really going to be tuning in because I remember as a young kid, he came to my church, my dad, and it was some chaos because, it was a Baptist church, but my dad was like, you know what, we Black people first. And I remember when Minister Farrakhan came to the church, I would never forget that. I remember when Rosa Parks came to my church, so I seen a lot growing up. So I didn't just wake up yesterday to be on a part in the community. I seen, and that's the reason why I'm going to be doing that to my grandson, let him see, what his grandpa is doing, because I want him to kind of take over this legacy because like John said, don't let the young face fool you. We getting old. We got to pass that torch eventually, but right now I can't pass, but eventually we got to pass that torch. Bottom line.
And one way for sure, passing that torch is to get people to join our organization. If you believe all you can do something in your community, if you think you can make a change, give us a call, reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? We do this on a regular and a daily basis. We fight for justice. We're not extraordinary people. We're common folks. We're a grassroots organization. But one thing we all have in common is that passion. So if you have that passion, reach out to us. Our website is www.non.hr. I'm sorry, not the dot, www.non.hr hro.org. Our phone number, which is a 1-800 business line, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is 1-800-346-5138. So if you want to make a change, if you want to make a difference, if you no longer see yourself sitting on the sidelines, sitting on the couch, just watching things go by, watching things happen, watching things occur, reach out to us, give us a call. Let's see if we can help each other, help someone. That's it for me, because I've been reading on notes all day long, all since this interview. I done ran out of notes. You know what I'm saying? My book, I had to close my book and put it up. I'm done, Gerald. I'm out of notes, man. I don't do this stuff, man. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's all freestyle until I write it down. So let's see, what was I gonna say next? So you, Gerald.
And I'm going to visit we have some staff members in Delapis, Alabama. A young lady, Keisha, who's very involved. I'm going to go down there, kind of help her. It shows them that, when I come in and support them, that makes their dedication even stronger. And then I'm going to be going to Augusta, Georgia, where a young lady just joined, where her son and her nephew was arrested, and in Augusta, Georgia, and going down there to have something on the courthouse in Augusta, Georgia. So, this work is not easy when you're doing it the right way, so just continue to pray for us or whatever. We're not a perfect organization, but, once the call go out and once the paperwork is approved by legal department, we go. We don't go off emotions. We go off facts, because we want a resolution. If you don't go off emotions, always two sides to a story. So we just don't jump on anything. One thing about the legal department, we're so busy. If you file a complaint with us, you got 72 hours to complete the paperwork, because, we're busy. We get a lot of calls every day, and things like that. So we're not shutting people down. It's just the fact that, we don't take no complaint over no phone and just jump. We will not do that. Oh, no. That complaint form cover us. It's like a legal document, because, if we represent you, you give an authorization to let them know we're going to be speaking on your behalf. So that's what that complaint form is. So if you try to come back and say something that, we didn't tell y'all that, we have it on documentation. That's why we have people fill that out. And some people try to get around it. We got a email yesterday off the website that I know that John sent the complaint form out, but they went to the message saying, I had a problem, whatever. And can I just meet with someone? You're not going to meet with no one until you got to go by protocol. And the one thing about us, we're very organized, Knowledge, very organized. That's why can't nobody break us. You can't break us when we're organized. We don't want a core, So I just thank God. Oh, there you go. They got that new order mask on. Look at them, Knowledge. Look at them. We even got masks. We got hoodies. I want to give a shout out to Cole Patterson. He's doing our new order gear. I mean, John, matter of fact, John, you just got your new order gear in the mail. What was it, yesterday? Look at him. He loving it. So yeah, now we just, I'm not, we've been knowing each other for a while. I remember, when you had the show back when you was up in Seattle, Washington, doing this. So you're not no stranger, bro. So you didn't see how the organization came around. Have you seen the Knowledge over the years, how this organization have changed?
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I'm one of the one of the a staunch supporter of this organization, because I've seen it grow. I've seen the trials and tribulations, and everybody move together in a certain kind of way. I saw it right. The first lasting impression. I had a very edifying experience that I saw from our first interaction, and it just continued to grow from there. So it was definitely something that some organizations need to take some cues from in regards to how to properly work and motivate and move, the adherence to protocol, the edification, the type of support, the teamwork, and the accessibility of the leadership. These are all key factors that go into organization growth and success. The proper development of people, that, that are called to task, holding people accountable, and also giving people creative room to bring, the strengths to the table. These are all of the things that I see in this dynamic family of New Order. They operate as a team, with a strong foundation, uh, God consciousness, which is very key for an organization that's operating in the space for human rights. And it's just so many things that are, in organizational takeaways I took just by seeing New Order in action over the years. So I definitely one of the main reasons why I lend my support to this organization and to the platform.
I just want to say very quickly, everybody out there, like Brother Knowledge say, it's about staying conscious and being conscious. And part of that consciousness is knowing when to be safe. We live in an environment right now that's very dangerous. I know the summer has broke. I know people want to get out there and, get that fun on. But know this, the coronavirus has not taken a break. So make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're staying sanitized up with your wipes. You're washing your hands. You're doing everything you need to do to survive. Because if you don't, you won't be able to call 1-800-346-5138 and join our team to help your community out. Nor will you be able to contact us and see what we're about at www.nonhro.org. Please, y'all, stay safe. I love you. Gerald?
Boy, John was. I understand we was constantly going to the store getting sanitizer and wiping things down and stuff because a lot of people in Dayton, Ohio, man, according to John, that's number one expected in Dayton, Ohio. But when we was riding around, people still ain't had no masks on. Like I said, this stuff is getting serious. So like you said, we all got to stay protective. I know a young lady made a comment about, why you still traveling and all that and all that. But, believe me, I keep myself protected. We still got issues out there. It's just the fact that, the coronavirus is out there serious. We got to take that serious, but, I believe in God, man. I think he's going to continue to protect me, protect this organization, man. But like John said, wear your mask. A lot of people thinking that this thing is gone, but it's not gone. Even at 45 think it's gone. I mean, the numbers is gone or whatever, but that doctor keeps saying, the rate we're going, and it's affecting young people now because, they not practicing six, distance right now. The people gathering, even during these rallies and protests, I do see people wearing masks, but you still have to be careful, man, and things like that. So I thank God, Knowledge, that you give it this opportunity every week to come on your platform. You keep doing what you're doing. Anything that you need from us, by all means, you got my number. Just pick up the phone and give me a call.
All right, I guess we did enough to wrap it up. Make sure y'all tune in next week again one more time to recap. Y'all could www. NON.HRO and call this toll-free number 24/7 365 346-5138. Definitely want to thank President, Founder, CEO Gerald Rose and his National Chief of Staff, that warrior man, John Drummond. Two critical pieces of that not I, but we dream team, New Order family. Make sure y'all tune in next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We out of here. Peace.